Hello, my dearest friends. Pray you guys are doing well today. I'm doing well. Let me open up my window because I'm kind of toasty. Alrighty, I'm back. Okay, so I was like, I'm supposed to be filming a guest speaker type video today. Let's go to Syrians. We are going to do that. I'll do that tomorrow, the next day, whatever. But I was like, kind of just want to talk my shit. Just kind of want to talk my shit. Because I've been doing even more deep diving into myself. My journey of deep diving is never over, because if I had to be like, I always say that I'm like the Queen of Swords archetype, but I'm also the hermit. Like, I've lived my whole life being that hermit, and so I feel like I'm always just inward. I'm always seeing what's behind the surface for me. And sometimes, like, there's like, I don't see things, and then like years later something pops up and boils to the surface. And that's why I like doing dream shadow work, because things pop up and I'm like, had no clue that was still causing effects in my life, or that was still, wreaking havoc in my life in some way. And I just I just can't sometimes, like, and sometimes, like, I'm like, for a person that is so inward thinking, you would think that I would notice more about myself sometimes. And I just don't. I just don't sometimes. But I was dreaming last night and something came to the surface, and it was something that resembled something from the past. It wasn't like the exact same situation. But I woke up and I was like, what the like, why is that still in my subconscious, just sitting there? And then I had to think for a second. I'm like, is that still affecting me now? And I'm like, yeah, it still is, because like that was something I guess I kind of just pushed away. Like, I didn't start remembering my memories from childhood until like age 20. Like, once I started my spiritual journey, that's when memories from my childhood just like started flooding in. And I guess I repressed a lot. I repressed a lot because shit just started flooding up to the surface. And now I'm sitting here trying to deal with them. But the amount of things that we can talk about that come to my surface is endless. So today we're going to talk about authenticity. That's what I talk about a lot within this channel, I feel like, but it's something that I still struggle with, and it's something that I am still trying to make space for in my daily life and make space for in my body. My ear just rang as I said that. But like, it's hard sometimes. Like, it is so damn hard sometimes, depending on who your family is, depending on what you've learned socially, depending on your environment. It is so hard to try to stick within authenticity, even if that's what makes you grow, even if that's where your heart desires to be, where your soul desires to be, where your soul is able to take shine. It's hard to stick within that if everything else around you is kind of like combating that. And I'm like, I think all the time, like, I had to keep telling myself, like, it is okay for me to be where I am right now, because I decided at how old was I think at 21, that I did not want to be in college anymore. I was in college to be a doctor. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. Well, at first I decided I wanted to be a doctor. Then I was like, okay, I'll be this type of doctor. And then well, at first I wanted to be a surgeon. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to be this type of doctor. And ever since I was a kid, I was like, oh, well, like, I'll be in healthcare because that's the only way I can help people. I don't know. When I was a kid, I really thought that was the only way that I could help people. And as I've grown and as I have sat in my spirituality and sat in my own individuality, I guess, I have realized that there's more ways to help people, and there's spiritual ways to help people. And I feel like I'm more inclined or more called to the more spiritual side of, health and wellness, and just like the individuality. Like, I hated school. Like, I throughout school would have night terrors and I just hated it. I hated it. Not even because I didn't like Like I didn't want to be away from home because I didn't care about that. Like I did not give a damn about that. If anything, my first school that I went to was in Houston, Texas. That is 17 hours away, a 17-hour drive away from where I live now in Illinois. And so even like as I remember in middle school and elementary school, I was like looking up colleges to go to that were out of the country because I was like, if I have to go to college, it's going to be somewhere I could adventure. Like college was a place for adventure for me. Like it was like I got the grades to stay there and to keep adventuring, but once that adventure was over, I was like, I'm done. Like I don't want to be here. And yeah, so that was hard for me to even come to, like to even acknowledge myself and acknowledge my feelings that I don't give a damn about college. I don't care. I don't want to be there. I do not care to be there. And even now, like it's been I don't know if it was when I was 20 or 21, but if it was when I was 20, I'm 22 right now. Then it's been 2 years and I'm still trying to make peace with that decision. Like I have to keep telling myself, like, people decided where they want to be, and it's okay for me to decide where I want to be too. Like, and that's something I have to keep telling myself because sometimes I just feel kind of annoyed. I don't even know if it's annoyed really with other people or annoyed with myself that like sometimes people ask me about college, like, oh, when are you going back? And like, I'm not. Like, I don't want to. And sometimes like I'm not like I just like I don't want to be honest with people and like tell them where I am right now in life because I'm like I feel like this is what they think is acceptable or socially acceptable, and that's not what I think is socially acceptable. And I like really have to just keep telling myself like it's okay for me to have my own vision of things, for me to have my own way of being, because everyone else is out there living, or not everyone else, but like people are out there living what they want to do, like, or doing what they want to do. The people that want to go to college are out there going to college, and I should have the right to, and I do have the right to say that I don't want to. And I don't know, I just wish I felt more comfortable with that sometimes. It's just because like I know within my family, at least, like my parents were first generation college students, and that's why I'm like, things keep bubbling to the surface, and I'm like, why? This is so ingrained in my head that this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. And I have to keep telling myself, no, it's not. Like, to break free from those social norms and to break free from the patterns that I've been told since I was a kid. Like, I remember in elementary school, my mother preached to us all the time. This is how you live your life. From elementary school, you go to middle school, and then you go to high school. You graduate high school, you go to college, you graduate college, get a job, then you get married, and then you have kids. That was the way we were supposed to live. And like she would say that all the time. The fact that I've had that so ingrained in my head, and I would get so mad at myself, and even sometimes now, like I get upset with myself. I'm like, why can't I be honest with myself? Why can't I be okay with the life that I chose to live for myself? This was my choice, and I don't believe, me personally, I don't believe I've made any wrong choice. Like, if I had to, I would do it all over again. If someone tried to throw me back in college, I would leave again. Like, that's the choice that I would choose to make. And I have to, like, and it's because that has been so ingrained in my head. Like, once I graduate high school, I'm supposed to go to college, I'm supposed to get a degree, then find a job, marry somebody, and then have kids. That was like that was my plan, and that was the plan that I was taught. And for me to like, I'm so grateful that I can even think about this now, and that thought popped up because I was getting so angry with myself. I'm like, why can't I just disconnect from this way of thinking? And it was bugging the shit out of me, man, because I'm like, I know I've done nothing wrong. If I had to do it again, I would do it again. And I'm just like, I'm glad that memory popped up, because I'm like, okay, like, it's not any part of me that regrets doing what I'm doing, like, or regrets what I did. It's that I have to unlearn a system that was ingrained within me, that was embedded so deeply within me, that just now bubbled to the surface, that I forgot about. And even with my granddad used to ingrain that in our heads too, because my grandparents didn't go to college. My parents were first generation college students, so it was very important. College was very important for them to go to, and then for us to go to. And I just like that has been so ingrained in my head, and it just does not resonate with me. And I have to like keep being so kind to myself, because like I really try to get on myself about that sometimes, and I'm like, but Kai, does it resonate? And I'm like, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, I gotta stand in it. Like I gotta dig my feet in the dirt and let that shit curl, because like it does not resonate. And I'm still trying to find my way. Like there's parts of myself that I am realizing every day, recognizing every day, parts that bubble up to the surface that I've had repressed for so long. And I just got to keep telling myself that I'm proud. I am proud of me. I'm proud for how far I have come. And I just like, it's kind of hard sometimes when like I'm looking at the people around me, and I feel like I'm pretty, I feel like I feel pretty okay with like where I am in life right now. Like I'm also like in a transitional space right now, to where I don't know, there's like a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and I feel like, I told you guys I do a lot of astral work, and I'm in the astral space a lot. So I've already had there's a lot that's happened on the etheric plane that has showed itself to me in the astral plane, that's going to be manifesting soon in my material plane. So I'm like, I'm on a good road. I just said that at 11:11, so that's perfect timing. Um, yeah, everything is going according to plan. Like, and I know that, but I feel like the people around me don't, and like that makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel like I have to tiptoe around people, because I'm like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet, or I'm not where they think that I should be yet. And quite literally, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Everything is working out perfectly fine for me. Like, and I love that. I'm so grateful. And I just feel like it's kind of hard sometimes when you when you've done a lot of internal work. Like I have changed as a person. Like the person I was in high school, the person I was at 19, would not recognize her. I have done so much, and I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, or like I'm saying this like because it's true. I have done so much inner work on myself, and the inner work that you do on yourself isn't always seen on that outside, right? Like people can go to high school, get their degree, or get their like I don't know, they graduate from high school, then they go to college, they get their degree, they can get a job, and you can see that, right? Like you can see that it's shown itself on in the external plane, right? I can see that you bought yourself a new car. I can see that you got yourself whatever kind of job that you wanted. I can see all the things that you have done for yourself in this external plane. But it's hard sometimes, like when I know I have grown and I have changed so much on my internal world, and I am so proud of myself for that. And I don't think it equivalates sometimes to like what other people have, in their external world. And I have to keep telling myself, like, it's great for what I have done for myself, because I have set the foundation for myself now for so much more to come in for my external world, and have that shit stay. Like, so I don't know, like it's just something that I think about all the time. And I was talking to my guides about it, because I was like, I just feel like the work that I've done internally isn't enough compared to what other people are showing up as in the world, because you can't see what's going on in this inside. Like what's going on inside of me, what's going on inside of me is incredible. Like it's been that's why I will always say that I am an alchemist, because the shit that I have alchemized like is wild. And I like I was someone who could be tormented, like literally I was the Nine of Swords as an archetype. Like I I can't even say more about that. I was literally the Nine of Swords as an archetype, and now that I'm literally like a fucking Queen of Swords, the fucking King of Swords, like that's crazy. That's amazing. So it's like that internal world, my internal world has flipped, it's changed, but I don't think it fully like, has like I'm like that King of Swords, Queen of Swords, but like I might not show up as that, King of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles, where you can see it in the external world. But my internal world is so rich now. Like it's so rich now. It's amazing. And I don't know, maybe I guess it just is different for everybody, right? To where sometimes you need to work on your internal world before before things come together in the external world. And honestly, I feel like that was supposed to be part of my soul mission too, because even if you look at my birth chart is a lot of 12th house energy. A lot of 12th house energy. I have like, I think 5 planets in 12th house. And then, you know, my big three are all water signs, Cancer and Pisces. So I feel like within this lifetime, I've just been made to do so much internal work and to learn how to alchemize off of my, you know, pain of the past and just my own internal world. So I'm so grateful to where I am now. But like, I don't know, I have to keep thinking too, like, it's and I also coming back to this authenticity thing. I just feel like it's hard sometimes to be within your authenticity when my authenticity does not line up to anybody around me. Like, I'm grateful that I have my 12 friends here that watch my channel because I'm like, okay, I'm not alone. Like, there's people that think like me, and my way of thinking is not wrong. Because sometimes, like, I'll show up around other people and I'm like, they think I'm crazy. Like, because sometimes I just be speaking my shit, and I can like be very esoteric, whatever, how to pronounce that sometimes, and like that's the way I think, and I'm like, the people around me don't think that way, and I'm just like, the way I show up is very different from the people around me, the way that they show up, which is okay. Like, we don't all have to be alike, but it's hard when your mentality is so different. Like, if I'm on some love and light, the world works this way, and you're on some, the world works this way, it's kind of hard. Like, it's kind of hard to, you know, and I'm a person that I love to talk. I love to talk to people about their thoughts on spirituality, their thoughts on healing, their thoughts on everything esoteric. I just like, that's the field that I just liked speaking about. And like, I don't get to have that many conversations with people like that. So like, I like to be able to talk to you guys, and you know, even if it's just a tarot video, like, I don't know, that's just the way that I can, you know, talk to you guys through that, because like, I know you guys relate to that. You guys are here to watch a tarot video, or like, you guys are here because you're on a spiritual journey too. So I'm glad that I get to talk to you guys in that way, so that makes me feel better. But also, I kind of want to go back to the struggle of living within authenticity when your environment is nowhere near your authenticity, like where it's nowhere like fully supportive of your authenticity. Because I grew up in a very Christian household. Like, I grew up going to Sunday school, like, and yeah, I remember like from a kid, I was on the kids section of church, and then we grew up to when we were, you know, like, I don't know, teenagers into like to the adult section of church. And I like my that's what my family did until like I started playing volleyball. And then, you know, when I started playing volleyball, I was busy every weekend, and we didn't like go to church like that because I had tournaments or games every weekend. Which was good because I hated going to church. I really hated it. Like, I hated it. I hated it. I don't like, not saying I don't hate church, but like, I couldn't stand going to church. That's just not something I cared to do. And even for a while, like, I was like, when before entering my spirituality, like the year before my spirituality, I feel like I was at odds with God. Like, I kept saying, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to find my way back to God, because the way I was taught to search for God or to be friends with God was not working for me. I was like, I don't like this relationship. I don't like who this person is supposed to be. And I just, like, if I think about it now, I don't really align to Christianity. Like, and that was something that I was taught. That was something I was supposed to be, because if I wasn't that, I was going to hell. And I don't align with that shit. Like, that doesn't make sense for me. Like, in the God that I was supposed to be perceiving then, like, didn't seem like a God that I wanted to be, you know, a child of. So I had to find my own way back to my own, you know, spiritual roots to even have a relationship with God. And like, even the way I am now, like, that doesn't align with my family. My family are strong Christians. Like, they don't play that. um Even like with my granddad, my great granddad, he was very into mysticism. So even them, like, even like my parents and aunts, they'd be like, oh, we just got to pray for him that he finds his way back to God. I'm like, nah, this man found God. He knows God, right? His made, like, he had a guru. And I loved going to my great granddad's house because he was nothing like them, and he stood on his shit, stood on it. You cannot make that man budge. And so he, as much like I would go over there, and this was like when I was in my strong Christianity days, because I was like, if I'm not a Christian, I will go to hell. Which is so wrong. But yeah, I would go over there and I would question him on anything, any and everything. I questioned him on all of his beliefs, and that's also just a person that I am, because not even if I disagree with you, but I just need to know how you think. Like, I like to know how you think. I want to know what's inside, what's your inner world like, how do you interact with the world. And me and him would just be at it. He would say something, I'd be like, but why? Like, I wanted to know, I wanted to break down every way that he thought. And I think he could understand. I think he saw from a young age that I wasn't going to be within Christianity for my whole life, because he'd always, like, I'd come over and I'd be questioning him on everything, like this and this and that. We'd be like having, like, it wasn't heated argument, but like it was just like, it was very intense, because I was like, I'm about to debunk everything you just said. And at the end of it, he'd be like, you should take this book home to read. And he's a very wise man. So I'm so grateful to have had him in my life. And that before he passed, I'm grateful that I wasn't within Christianity more, so that I could speak to him about more things and have more of his knowledge, because he was a very knowledgeable, wise man. He lived to 97, 90, I think 95, 95, 97. So I'm so grateful to have had him into my life. And even my granddad, my granddad, like my mom's dad, is Muslim. And even with him, they're like, well, just pray that he finds his way back to God. I'm just like, what sense? My take, I don't know. I guess like religion is a touchy subject, but I'm going to talk about it. If you guys don't want to talk about it, or you don't want to hear about it, make sure to click off right now, because I'm not about to censor myself, right? This is my channel. But I just feel like with religion, like I'm not against religion at all. Even like, I don't align with everything in one religion, but I don't think any religion is wrong. I think there's some truth within every religion. So that's why, like, I just can't define myself by one, because like, even like I grew up in Christianity, and then for a while I feel like I had a rough relationship with Christianity, because I was like, I was forced into this and all this and that. I don't agree with all this and that. But even now, I'm just like, I have made peace with Christianity. I just don't call myself a Christian because I don't think I am one. I'm not one. But I don't know. I feel like you can find truth in all religion, but I just also don't like the restriction of religion. I don't like the rules. I don't like if you do this, you go to hell. If you do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, I don't think God thinks that way. Like, sometimes, like, someone will say something about, and also, that's for another video. That's for another video, because I got a lot of shit to say. But let's move away from religion, because I have so much to say about that. Like, I have too much to say about that. But yeah, it's just like, even like if I look at who I am, like I just hate feeling like I had to even try to hide bits of myself, because that does not align with me. All right, that does not align with me. That it makes me get the ick about myself when I do that. Like, I have to be compassionate to myself, but like sometimes I'm like, because I am a very spiritual based person. The way I live my life is very spiritual based. All right, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, that's on my mind. All right, that's just the way I move now. And I like the occult. I like all of that shit that I'm not supposed to like, right? I grew up in a Christian household. I'm not supposed to like tarot cards. I'm not supposed to like witchcraft and all that stuff, but I do. That's where I like, even astrology. I remember when I was in middle school, got in trouble one day. I was grounded, and my mom had took my phone. And when I got my phone back, I remember before I had all of my astrology apps, like to get my birth chart, to read my horoscope. And when I got my phone back, all of my astrology apps were deleted. And I went to her and I was like, why did you delete my astrology apps? And she was like, that is demonic. We don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, girl, what? What do you mean? So for a while, I stepped off of. All right, the people in my house be talking so loud. I'm like, calm down. We'd be 2 feet away from each other, like, "Ah," like yelling. I'm like, but yeah, I remember she deleted all my astrology apps, and I was like, why did you do that? And she was like, because we don't do that, and this and that, like that is the work of the devil. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, damn, I can't even read a horoscope. I can't even read your girl can't even get a horoscope on herself. So for a while, and that's what I believed it. And so for a while, even like internally, I was kind of like upset, and I did not agree with that. I was like, okay, like that's right. That's, we don't do that. Like, I'm not supposed to do that. I shouldn't have done that. And so I like stopped doing astrology. I didn't pay any attention to it. And then, and like, I think it was like after I graduated, um, I think after I graduated high school, I ended up falling back into astrology again. Like, you just can't escape yourself, guys, because my part of me that loves it just, was like, no, you got to come back. So I ended up getting back into it. But I was like, it's so crazy. Like this, like I can get so upset about myself sometimes about things, about not living within my authenticity. But then I'm like, what does my root say? What is at that root level? Like, is my that foundation was not built off of my authenticity, right? It was built off of other people's authenticity. So like, I really like. I was talking to my guides about this because I was like, I need guidance, right? I was like, just show me something. Let me see something. And then I'm on Netflix and I'm watching this show, this Japanese show, and it's called Burn the House Down. And so I've watched it, right? And then a couple weeks later, I am in my room again, and I'm like, I want something to watch. And then I kept hearing, watch Burn the House Down again. Watch Burn the House Down again. And I was like, I just watched that. And I ended up watching it again. And I'm like mid through the first season or whatever. And well, it's only one season, but I was like, why am I watching this again? Why did they tell me to watch this again? And it was good. That second time, I felt like it hit even better than the first time. But at first, I like looked at, I don't know, I paused it and I just happened to look at the title and I was like, oh, burn the house down. They want me to burn down the house. Not this house. The house is still up, right? I'm not an arsonist, I promise. But they wanted me to burn that foundation down. Like, literally burn it down until the nothingness, so I have to recreate it. Like, the essence of fire, of the fire element, is to burn, to create, to destroy, to create something new. Like, if you guys have any forest preserves by your house, or like, yeah, like any forest preserves by your house, you notice, right, before, what season is it? I think it's before coming into spring. Before coming into spring, right after, like, yeah, before coming into spring, I feel like they usually burn a part of the forest. And I remember when I didn't understand what that meant, I would be like, why are they burning the forest? But I was like, okay, it's beneficial. Because I'll say they burn off that part of the forest, and it's to allow more creation to come in, for the forest to, recreate itself more in more of a bountiful harvest. Sometimes, so there won't be any uncontrollable fires. They start that little fire, right? So they can, create a good foundation for the new harvest to come in. So my guides are telling me, like, you need to burn that foundation down and start new, right? Pave a new pavement for that. What do you want to put on your foundation? Like, what needs to be there for you to feel comfortable, right? So I'm still in the process of, I feel like I've built this foundation. The foundation is built, but I feel like I'm still testing it to see if the cement is dried. Sometimes things happen. I'm like, oh, the cement's not dried. Like, something might fall in there and make, stick. So I'm still waiting for the cement to dry, I feel like, for my foundation. But I feel like it's almost dried. I feel like it needs like one more week, and then it's fully dried. So yeah, I think that's my take on authenticity. I'm getting there. I'm not 100% there, but I am getting there. And I just like gotta keep telling myself that there's nothing wrong with the life that I chose, because people are allowed to choose their life just as much as I'm allowed to choose mine, and vice versa. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the way I want to live. There's nothing wrong with the way I live now. So yeah, that's about all I got to say. I am so grateful that I got to have this conversation with y'all because it's been on my mind. It's been running around up there. So I'm glad I got to speak it to you guys so I can stop going crazy. Um, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys, I don't know, maybe you guys relate to some of it. But we're gonna have to talk more about more about topics like this because I got a lot to shit to say. All right, I got a lot going on up here, right, and I need to get it up here. um so yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I almost said maybe I'll see you guys in another pile, but there is no other pile. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I wish you guys love and light. I hope you guys are feeling free to send your love and light with others. If not, take some time for yourself. And I hope you guys are feeling free to identify what your authenticity is. You know, for me, for a while, I know this is supposed to be a closure part, but like here I am talking again. I feel like for me to even understand my authenticity, guys, I had no clue who I was. Like, I had no clue who Kaya was. Like, people would ask me what I liked, and I'd be sitting here like, I hated that question because I didn't know what I liked. So it was a journey for me to even rediscover who I am and to allow myself to open up to who I am. So yeah, that was a journey within itself. But I hope you guys are feeling free to live within your own authenticity and discover who that is for you, because we all deserve to live in that. And I will preach that to the day I die, even if I'm not there yet, if I'm not fully within my authentic self yet. I will preach it because I want y'all to do it. Even if I can't do it, y'all need to do it, or at least try to. But yes, I wish you guys love and light. I hope you guys are feeling free enough to spread your love and light and receive this love and light. And I will see you guys in another video. Pray you guys are doing well today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Peace.